Looking to stock up on high-quality Ayurvedic herbs? I've partnered with two of my trusted sources, Kerala Ayurveda and Gary & Son, to offer you 20% off their entire range of authentic products. From classical formulas to single herbs and seasonal must-haves, these are staples I use in my own practice. Use code Ojas Oasis for Kerala Ayurveda, Ojas Oasis 20 for Gary & Son. Links are in the show notes. Supporting your healing journey just got a little bit easier. In Ayurveda, nourishment isn't only about what we take in for the body, but also what we offer the heart. That's why we're honored to share Aura Cacao, a ceremonial grade cacao we've chosen as a dharmic partner for the Ojas Oasis community. Aura Cacao supports meditation, heart-opening rituals, and moments of conscious presence. As an exclusive gift for our listeners, use Ojas Oasis 20 for 20% off, and you'll find the link in the show notes. Welcome to Ojas Oasis, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets the modern being. I'm your host, Sasha Brashadsky, Ayurvedic doctor and guide on this journey into the heart of holistic wellness. Vata, nature's bioforce of motion and circulation, plays a significant role in our mind-body system, specifically our digestive and emotional well-being. The subdoshas of Vata, Prana Vayu, Udana Vayu, Samana Vayu, Apana Vayu, and Vyana Vayu each have specific, significant roles in regulating our inner harmony. Chronic psychosomatic illnesses that are prevalent this time of year occur when Vata gets aggravated and left unchecked. We hope this conversation plants a deeper understanding of this dynamic dosha. Though it is darker and colder outside, we may implement this Ayurvedic knowledge to stay warm, soft, open, and help keep our Vata happy on the inside. Let's get to our chat.
This is attempt number 2. Sasha and I, first of all of you out there, if you have not had tech issues today, good for you. Sasha and I have had all of them. So this is like hour 3 of us trying to podcast or to have a conversation together today without us freezing or glitching or just not hearing each other. So I'm if we make it past the 30-second mark today, I'm going to rejoice. And I think we're there.
I'll be so happy if I can just teach one of the subdoshas today. If we could cover one.
I'm feeling good so far. I'm feeling good.
Let's see. Oh my gosh.
Ridiculous.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Okay. Hi, Sasha. And hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Okay. So we tried doing this earlier today, like I was just saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to acknowledge, well, a few things. Okay. So you have a certain topic in mind today, and I just want to take a second to just arrive there, especially acknowledging all the events that have been going on in the last couple weeks and how deeply we've all been feeling that, and how in the conversation we had last week that was very much focused on us processing that and feeling all of that. And we are all still actively doing that today, and hopefully every day we are feeling and thinking about others and how we can support and help change the situation. But I don't know. So that brings us to today. Again, we're still moving through all of this. I want to check in on you and see how you're feeling. So we'll get to that, I think, in a second. But something Sasha and I were talking about today was how emotions can manifest. They do manifest in the body, the mind, the body. It's all the same. And with all the heavy emotions we've all been feeling the last few weeks, some physical stuff is starting to show up, I think, in a lot of us. Again, if we were skipping meals or not sleeping well, that's showing up. So we had some kind of physical, practical topics in mind to talk about today, all but threaded with the needle of things that we've all been feeling the last few weeks. But with that in mind, Sasha, I just want to ask how you're feeling. Tech issues aside and everything, how are we feeling today?
Yeah, I actually thank you for asking. I feel good today. All things considered, I think I would attribute that to in large part to like the knowledge that I'm attempting to impart on listeners and you and pretty much anyone who wants to listen or wants to learn or is curious. I know how disease works. I know how it starts. I know how it spreads. I know the telltale early signs of it. And I'm very, it's high priority for me in my life as a practitioner to take time every day, a large part of my day. I don't want to say a large part of my day, but I almost feel like all day, every day, I'm always listening to what's going on in my body. And I think all of us can probably sense in the early stages when a dosha, or I'm going to get into the subdoshas but today, but when things start to escalate or get to like, you know, more advanced stages of something, like, okay, for some people it's very, very normal because they had a lot of anxiety as a kid. They had trouble going to the bathroom, or like a lot of gas, and they've always had gas for as far back as they can remember, and they just think, well, I don't know, I guess I'm just a gassy person, or I guess I just don't poop a lot. Like maybe I poop once a week, and so yeah, that's another thing. I think you and I, when we were sharing with people what our sessions sound like, I think we had like a session with you and I in season maybe 2, and it was just kind of trying to show people what that looked like, what that framework was like. And we do talk about poop a lot. And the reason why I want to talk about poop and digestion this week, and the way I'm going to get into it is going to be very academic, because, you know, this is educational. It's also conversational. It's also practical. It's also relatable, and it's all these things because it needs to be all those things for something foreign to seamlessly enter another culture. All these words that I'm going to be talking about, they're not English words, and they're not words that you've ever heard before. So, but the concepts, I'd like to really, really create a rudimentary understanding of what takes place when we eat, and what takes place when we are done with what we're eating and we no longer need what's left over, and the best way to function as a human being in this body, in this form, while we got it, because our experience is going to be dictated by how we feel a lot of the time. And I think, to answer your question, your initial question of how am I doing, I think because my digestion is so smooth, because my digestion is smooth, and by the way, we could trace that back to why is it smooth? I take herbs every day. Why do I take herbs every day? I know which herbs to take for my specific doshas and the best times of day to take them, and the right dose, and all those types of things. Not just herbs, also the fact that I know that I need a certain amount of sleep every night.
Well, you know what you need to do to maintain balance.
You know what I need.
In any way, which, you know, that's like a fundamental of Ayurveda. It's not just consumption in terms of food, and like herbs are a major part of that for sure. But I think you're not like, you feel good and you feel like you're digesting things easily when generally you're living a balanced, you're balancing. I mean, maybe you're feeling heavy emotions or feeling other things, but you generally have a good sense of what you can do to balance those things out and not affect your body. Before we get into that though, can you help me connect with
anything? I'll help you with anything.
I know you will.
I'm serious.
Can you help me connect? Let's move from the emotions to the body. Okay. So before we start talking about how we digest stuff or whatever, but like what is, and we did talk about this a little bit earlier, and that like semi-recorded conversation we had earlier will live on somewhere in our hearts. But the connection between the emotions and the body. So like I was saying, like especially the last few weeks been super heavy. Like we talked about emotions stagnating in the body, things stagnating in the body, or, you know, so just help me make that connection for people listening between like wait, we were just talking about being sad and stuff. Like now, why are we talking about digestion? How are those things related?
Mm-hmm.
Or help me segue that,
The connection. Yeah. So you're asking about like the connection between the emotional, subtle body and the physical, functional, physiological system of digestion. And there's this thing called the psychosomatic connection. And what's happening when someone's experiencing anxiety, for example, is, first of all, let's talk about the qualities. Anxiety is a Vata dominant emotion. It is mobile. It's very subtle. It's very light. It's hard, and it's cold. Those are some qualities of anxiety. So when you're anxious, you dry up.
Yep.
You close up. You constrict, and everything in your body follows suit. Because everything in the body believes what the mind believes, and the body is trying to survive. And the mind is a servant of the body. The body is not a servant of the mind. The master driver here is actually your biology. Your mind, what we don't realize because we have given so much emphasis and priority and respect to the mind and intellect and controlling through the mind. But the mind, if it's not kept in check, it takes over the whole ship. And anxiety is a debilitating state of mind that the body believes it's so constricting because the body believes it's in danger. The body believes it needs to be alert and ready for an attack. And it puts you in your sympathetic nervous system, and you are getting ready for an attack. That's what anxiety is. You're waiting for something bad to happen. You're convinced. And sometimes there's a reason and sometimes there's not. That's kind of what's nuts about the mind is it can create problems that don't actually exist. But in this case, because we're on the heels of last week's podcast, which was about a very real attack on innocent people. And for those of us who are very sensitive to the suffering of others, like you and I, we're empaths. So what happens sometimes is you mistake other people's anxiety for your own or other people's pain for your own, or you feel like you want to help them carry it. You want to absorb some of it. You feel like it's too heavy for them to carry alone, so you want to take it on. But then you can't do much, right? And then your own body starts to be convinced that it's sick. And it's this word holistic has been very trendy for a while, and I kind of wish that we had another word for it. I know like you and I are both, whenever we have like these conscious conversations about the macro, just like society and things that are going on, we both are shy to use words that are kind of stereotypical of a certain archetype of like woke culture or something, like, or like just overly, come on, it's just
woo. Yeah,
woo. And I think we need to just use the language that we have and own it and just say the words that we have, because unless we come up with something else, we're just going to be walking on eggshells to not sound a certain way. So bear with us. We know we have our own inner eye rolls sometimes when we talk about these things, but I'm going to shuffle back to the center of what the conversation was supposed to be about today, which is about the connection between digestion, physically digesting your food, and
well, we were talking about Vata.
Vata.
Yeah, and like anxiety, because we were talking about all the symptoms of anxiety. Just kind of, you were describing the qualities.
Yeah.
Right. So then the next thing that happens is like, okay, well, that shows up somehow in the body physically, right? All the constriction and tension and mobility. Okay. So then that can lead to physical ailments, right? So there's many versions of that besides Vata, anxiety, right? So this is how dis-ease and such starts showing up.
Yeah. And I think what I need to really nail this concept that the mind and the body are two separate things needs to be dispelled, like erase that from wherever that was taught or wherever you heard or thought that. That's fundamentally flawed. There's one system. It's a mind-body system. They're symbiotic. They work together. They're two different departments, but they're the same company. They work for you. They're here to serve you for a long, healthy life so that you can accomplish what it is you came here to accomplish. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Ultimately, all the things we came here to experience this form. We came here to fulfill our purpose. And along the way, we need to provide a living for ourselves, and we need to be inspired by beauty around us, and then ultimately completely detach from all of it and feel ready that we've done everything we could do to make this place better, and then become one again with God, and whatever you believe that to be is acceptable as long as it's not hurting anyone. But there's no distinction between I should say there's no separation between mind and body. And the body, if the mind is telling the body that we're in trouble, we're in danger, the body starts to act physically
in accordance
with that, right? So all that to say, digestion
is a reflection
of your mental health, where your mental health is at. If you really want to see where your mental health is at, because you don't really know, are you pooping every day? That's the first question I'd ask. Do you have an appetite? Do you even have an appetite? Do you even want to eat? As practitioners, as clinical practitioners of Ayurveda, the core, we call this actually my teacher calls it namaste. The 5 questions we ask: state of Agni or digestion, state of Ama or undigested food particles, state of Ojas, how resilient is this person to stress? Are they really easily irritated? Are they really easily getting sick all the time? Or are they having a lot of chronic problems, difficulty with a lot of different areas? Then what is their primary dosha? Vikriti and Prakruti. So the original balance of the doshas, and then where are they at now?
Yeah.
Then we create protocol. Okay, that's baseline. We need to know that. And why do we need to know that? Because without metabolic health, no matter what medicine we give you, if you can't digest it, what good is it? It's not going to do anything for you.
That's a good general, first of all, take a step back and just say that phrase again. That's a good metaphor for life, first of all. If you can't digest it, you shouldn't be, and I'm not going to say it exactly how you said it, but basically if you can't digest it, why consume it? Good for mental purposes. My first thought went to recycling. Sometimes I'm like, God, if this thing can't be recycled, why the fuck are they making it? But the same thing we can apply to our bodies and our minds. If this isn't something we can process in a smooth way, why are we consuming it?
Right.
And again, I'm talking what are you watching on TV? What are you eating is, a major part of it as well. But I'm just helping make some parallels and maybe some connections here.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, doesn't it make sense that we would want to take things into our body that are going to make us feel good and strong and clear and happy, as opposed to heavy? So you mentioned the word you use the word heavy when talking about things that are difficult, which is also no coincidence, because when something's too heavy for the stomach, it creates lethargy, sluggishness, kind of brain fog. You just feel really melancholic and tamasic. And heavy it's like putting the digestive fire out. If you put a big cup of water on a small little candle, that candle, obviously, the fire's going out. So it's too heavy for that fire. Same thing with a huge log. Are you going to put a huge log on a tiny little fire that's barely there? You got to feed it kindling first. And the way you know what the state of your Agni is, you look at what your poop looks like, and is that consistent? Is that happening at the same time every day? Is there variability in the consistency and the color? Is it difficult? Is it painful? Is it burning? Is it soft? Is it hard?
Mm-hmm.
Is it complete? Do you feel complete? Is there a lot of gas? There's all these questions. And if all these things are variable, we call it Vishmagni, which is a symptom of Vata. And it's usually always tied in with anxiety. Always. And anxiety is a brother or sister to fear. So there's some fear, deep-seated fear. And deep-seated fear lives in the colon, which also happens to be where Apana Vayu lives.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the 5 subdoshas of Vata, and that governs all downward movement. All things that are trying to come in, get processed by the other subdoshas of Vata, which I will list, but come in, down, and out. Keyword I want you to remember is down and out. Some things need to come down to come out. If things aren't going down, they won't come out, right? They're just going to stay in your gut and accumulate. And that can be super, super painful for people that can't poop more than once a week. They're Apana Vayu. Something is not allowing, something is obstructing circulation from bringing down all the toxic waste material. So something's not allowing it. It's either the colon is dry or it's atrophied. The actual muscle is atrophied. There's weakness. And we need to give lubrication and nourishment and strength. Like I think of bala, this herb bala, and I think of ghee. We give, or they're called gritams. They're herbal decoctions that are cooked into ghee because ghee allows those herbs to penetrate even deeper into the deeper tissues, which is what we want. So there are specific, even trifalogritum. I talk about, I must have mentioned trifle at least once on this podcast, I hope. Because it's just such a universal tridoshic solution to irregularity of digestion. It strengthens the colon. It's non-habit forming. You'll never be dependent on it. All it's ever going to do for any dosha at any given time, there's no way it can hurt you. And that's kind of the beauty of Triphala. Actually, I shouldn't say always. There's never no such thing as always. If you're already pooping too much, we wouldn't want to give you Triphala because Triphala is going, or if you're pregnant. Again, every single case is so unique. So I literally can't even generalize. It's not even possible. So never mind. I'm not going to generalize, but 90% of the time, 9 times out of 10, Triphala will be a really, really safe bet for you, which is hard to say because that almost never happens. But yeah, Apana Vayu is the seat of the colon, and being in fear, living in constant fear for your life, having that root chakra destabilized, even the sacral chakra destabilized is going to impact that exact location of the body and create dryness and constriction. So it's blocking the channel from anything coming out.
Yep. And then that affects your mental state. It's like a very shitty, not pun intended there, but cycle to be in.
Good
you
one.
know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a
Had to
shitty
go
cycle,
there.
isn't it?
It is, but it is, right? Then you're you can't help but notice that you feel like shit. And then that occupies your mind. That makes it worse. It can be hard to get out of those cycles sometimes, which,
absolutely,
I imagine many of us are in, especially given heavy times or just difficult times. I think many of us have been facing the last few weeks. That's how, this stuff can start to show up. One thing I know you want to talk about the rest of the subdoshas too, but I just want to comment too, just, you're talking about the 5 things that the protocol that you start with. So we talked about Agni or Ama.
Agni.
We talked about Agni. And then Ama, is that what you check on the tongue?
Yes.
And I know you could probably talk a lot about that, but just touch on that for a second, because I think that's very revealing too of what's going on digestively, right?
Yep. So we asked to see the tongue to see if there's any coating of any kind of slimy, usually there's a color, there's a discoloration. We try to find the actual real color of the tongue, looking at the tip and the underneath. Also, actually, funny enough, there's so many things that the tongue can tell you. I mean, the tongue can tell you if you're anemic, if there's not enough like pink coloration to it, if it's really, really pale, usually that's a sign that you're not generating enough red blood cells, And
Yep.
so we look at how thick is that coating, first of all. How thick is it? If it's really, really thin, then it's just a matter of, okay, get a tongue scraper, drink hot water every morning, take Deepana Pachana herbs. Deepana is Agni stimulating and Pachana is Ama destroying. Like it burns the Ama, which is what we want. We want to cook it so that you can easily eliminate it through your stool. So, and that's going to look different. The coating, the thickness, the color, and the location is going to look different for every dosha. But I do want to mention that just because someone doesn't have coating doesn't mean they don't have ama. It's just one of the ways that we check for ama. And I want to introduce the word shrotas. I don't know if I've ever talked about shrotas or shrotamsi. They're channels in the body that carry different things to different places. So if I just ate an apple, that's going to be distributed throughout different parts. First, it's going to go to the liver, then it's going to go to the stomach, then, but all these other systems have to work. Like the pancreas has to send enzymes to the stomach, and there has to be a certain alkalinity, if that's a word, or certain acidity in the stomach and small intestine. And if that's off, you could have a stomach ache, you could have gas, you can have all these different symptoms if there's ama. And ama is coating the channels and making it so that anything that's going through your channels when you're digesting, it's sticking, like the food substance is sticking to that ama. Think about it if you were to like...
Well, just piping in our sinks and stuff.
Piping in a sink. Okay, so if the piping in the sink has, if that was coated in slimy gunk.
From food that you shoved down there that you weren't supposed to.
Then when you try to turn on the garbage disposal, it might not all, or it might be so backed up that food starts to shoot up out of the sink instead of down.
Yes. Or if you live in New York City and don't have a garbage disposal, it just backs up and your sink fills with water.
Yes.
And that's no bueno.
Yeah, it's no bueno. And it's no bueno in the body either.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what happens in the body. It's not going anywhere. It's not going out. The food isn't coming in and out. It's just staying in there.
Yeah.
Because it can't get digested. And that's when you see food particles in your stool, you can also see, okay, that just went in and out. That nothing happened to that. Like there was no absorption.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you know how many times I've explained that to my kids? They're just like, hey, look at that corn. I'm like, let me tell you. I mean, honestly, the amount of times we talk about poop, I mean, they'll be like, hey, it's orange. I'm like, well, what'd we eat for dinner last night? Like sweet potatoes. I'm like, there we go.
They're so cute.
But yeah, like, trust me, the conversations about, we all know there's proof of that.
Right.
Well, so let's talk more about, I know you want to talk about subdoshas, right?
I hope we can.
So,
I know we have limited time, but I want to just like touch on the fact that they exist, first of all, because I've never talked about them on the podcast. I don't think we've introduced Vata, Pitta, Kapha, but we haven't introduced specific locations of how these doshas work. And maybe we only get through Vata today, and that's okay by me. But I want people to understand the importance of things flowing through the body, and also why I'm doing well. To answer your first question, because I keep coming back to it, is I think because things keep flowing through my body. I'm on my period right now. Like I talked about this with you, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it must have been 2 weeks ago. How, we need to embrace the body's natural purgation systems and like not feel in any way like we need to repress that or... One of the core tenets of Ayurveda is never repress natural urges, because when you do that, you're going to derange Vata. You're going to derange the direction what's trying to come down. Yeah. Like by the way, like I know a lot of women use tampons. I use tampons when I absolutely have to. I try to avoid
Same.
them. But
Same. Hate them.
you're plugging something
Because I know it feels so
things
like
are trying to come out, like
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
plugging it and you're disrupting
Like
the
this
natural.
can't be.
Yeah.
This can't be the
It's for
right
mere
thing
convenience.
to do.
It's
Yeah.
only for the
Mhm.
convenience of it. And sometimes
Yep.
in an emergency, whatever, I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, that's going in.
That's
you know,
that's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
it has to
Yeah.
happen right now. But
Yeah, but I get it. It does feel like unnatural in a way because you're like, wait, what? It's supposed to be going out.
right,
yeah.
down and out. So
Mhm.
so something's coming in. That's another reason why you're not supposed to have sex during your period too, is
Mhm.
because again,
Mhm.
there's some natural process that nature wants this to be going down, and we're fighting that. So that air, that movement is now being Vata's going back up into the body, and that's not going to feel good in a lot of
Right.
subtle ways and in a lot of physical ways.
Yeah.
But by the way, like when we say gas, what is gas? Gas is air. What is air? Vata.
Mhm.
So yeah, air is getting trapped in a dry body. That's what gas is.
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
And so we need
Yeah.
to understand ways to pacify Vata. And sometimes there's a secondary or a tertiary dosha involved, but where there's gas, there's always Vata. Gas is air is Vata.
And I think it's appropriate we're kind of just focusing on Vata for today. Frankly, if we can just say that, that's fine because it's also Vata season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us are probably having some of those tendencies anyway because of just the natural season we're in. It's starting to get drier. It's windy. I mean, of course, it depends on the climate and place that you're in. But for those of us that are affected by the seasonal changes, it is a Vata time of year. Like you said, the days are getting shorter, so there's less light, there's more, it gets colder, right? So a lot of us might be having Vata tendencies just as a result of that in general. So
yeah, Vata season. We're in Vata season. And if you turn on the news, you don't even need to go to a haunted house. Just turn the news on.
I know.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
that is enough to scare the shit out of anyone. What's going on? Just all these things that's taking a toll on all of our collective psyches. And Vata is the dosha that's associated with trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a traumatic time.
So it's showing up for a lot of us in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you wanted to list the subdoshas, and we did talk about Apana Vayu, right? That's the one that goes down. So what are the others and how are they relevant or connected to this whole conversation?
So let's talk about the different directions of movement in our body. When we look at each other, we're taking in prana. When we breathe oxygen, when we inhale, we're taking in prana. Anything that is on the outside that's moving in is Prana Vayu, is in charge of that. So if someone's not able to breathe through their nose or someone's not able to see from their eyes, Prana Vayu is involved. There's a subdosha of Vata that is not working correctly that we have to look at, and we have to figure out a way to heal that. When something comes in, a sensory perception comes in, and now we're trying to make sense of what we're looking at. Like I'm looking at you, and I know you're Aaron. That's Samana Vayu. And when we are taking something in to our digestive system, and we're eating, in other words, and we're converting that food in our small intestine, Samana Vayu is in charge of actually absorbing nutrients. So we need what's coming in to be put to work, and Samana Vayu puts that to work. So now we have something from the outside coming in, Prana Vayu. Now we have what's in, making sense of that.
Mental processing.
Yes. Then we have Vyana Vayu, which is circulation from the heart, located in the heart, I should say. Vyana Vayu is located in the heart. And now it's taking what's in and spreading it all across the body. So blood is getting oxygenated, and now we need to get that to
Distribution.
everywhere. Distribute it throughout the whole organism. That's Vyana Vayu. And then we have Udana Vayu. So the ability to speak or to sneeze or to burp or anything like even cough up phlegm. That is all, or vomit. Hate to say it, but sometimes you need to vomit, like if you have food poisoning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like nausea.
Up and out.
Up and out. So up and out. And that governs our self-expression too, like our ability to actually express and communicate and articulate. We need the movement, the up and out movement. So that's Udana Vayu. And then Apana Vayu is down and out. So we need all these different directions to know which way to go. It's kind of like having stoplights, like red, yellow, green.
Yeah. It's just a traffic system.
Or traffic system in general. Like, and there are so many, the systems, the different vayus are communicating together, and all these different hormonal checkpoints are all like waiting for the green light so that they can go and deliver to the next place and be efficient.
That's what I think of. I think of like something comes in and it's like, okay, ding, ding, something came in, everybody. Okay. And then it goes to where it needs to go and gets distributed where it needs to go, gets digested and internalized where it needs to. And then when that's all said and done, it comes out down or up or wherever necessary. It's the whole recycling process, or just like processing process.
Totally.
You know, and I think digestion of food is maybe the easiest way to talk about it because it's the most physical, but you talked about seeing things through your eyes too. And, you know, consumption is everywhere. I'm always, you know, that's a major thing that Ayurveda has taught me, is that consumption happens through all of the senses. And in many ways, you know, the conversations that we're having, the things that we're hearing. I mean, that's especially true for me, who I'm a major sound person, always taking in, you know, so just thinking of all the ways that you're taking in things, that your body is processing it. That's, you know, that's consumption, and we're digesting all of that. So supporting efficient and smooth digestion is the goal.
Sound is also a sensory, like your ears are a sensory organ of Vata, because the ether in your ear, like the space and the subtle vibrations that are hitting it, that's inherently air and ether, right?
Yeah.
That's the Vata dosha that manifests in sound. So, or like, you know, making it even possible for us to perceive sound. And it's very, very calming to hear. That's why with every audio bite or video clip that I make, I try to be very mindful of having sattvic, calming sounds, like instrumental, classical music, violin or piano playing, because it's part of allowing this information to actually get digested for people. First, people need to feel safe and like it's okay for them to be open. Because to feel okay to be open, first of all, also you need to make space for that. And because sound stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, it creates the space for you to actually be able to listen to this podcast.
Yeah. Oh, you know, remember my TT project?
Yes,
like my final, or we all had our finals.
Report. Yeah. Yours was about sound.
Yeah. Just like the impact of sound on the mind and body and kind of the influence. So
good.
That one resonates with me for sure. I remember that. I remember you had one on running and yoga.
Yoga,
and you had
for
a
runners.
long presentation, and you're just like, yes, yoga for runners. And you were like, wait, can I have more time? Like you were like,
I didn't even get through half of it
because it was great.
I did.
I remember.
I didn't even get.
Oh, those were great. Those were so great. That was the sweetest thing. I miss those days. I always think in the fall, I always like reminisce to like TT days, by the way, because we did our training. I mean, it was the entire fall. Yeah. You know, going into December. Yeah, it was the entire fall.
I wish we still had
a bit of summer too.
I wish we still had yoga teacher training like every weekend.
Of course, I wish
there's
we had
nothing
it.
else
Oh
I'd
my
rather
God.
do. What else would I rather do?
Oh, it's the best.
It was the best. It's like, oh, you want to go get coffee and a muffin across the street really quick? Fuck yeah, I do.
Oh God, so
When
good.
would I ever say no to that?
Oh, that was so nice. Oh my gosh.
There's a really, really good coffee shop around the corner of Yoga Vita. I remember I always went.
Never forget.
So
R.I.P. Yoga Vita.
the glory days.
I know. All right, I have to wrap. Kids might enter any moment now, so let's. How can we bring this home, Sasha? How do we? We got through all the subdoshas of Vata. That's great.
There we go.
Or maybe things we can focus on for next week.
Draw awareness to the following qualities and try to make them prevalent in your life. Soft. So can you wear soft fabric and, soften your skin with moisturizer or oil? I'm going to always favor oil over lotion, but whatever you got, let's just work with that. Sesame oil, though, chef's kiss. This time of year, just add a couple drops of lavender and sandalwood, just 2-3 drops to your sesame oil, which you can get at Whole Foods or wherever you go grocery shopping. Apply that especially before bed to your feet. Put socks over, but rub those feet 5 minutes. Yep. It's just a game changer because it takes all the thoughts that are circulating in your head and it brings it down because you're stimulating the feet. So all the nerve impulses, they're all going down, and that's where we want them to go. We want you to clear your head so you can have a really, really deep, restful sleep. And it's grounding. We always talk about grounding this time of year. So we want get outside. I mean, it's such gorgeous weather to you're not going to get too hot. Pittas are alleviated this time of year. Pitta, this is the time for pitta. All the pitta that got aggravated in the summer. Yeah. All the pittas are like, what are y'all talking about with being cold? I'm like finally able to breathe. Yes. Yeah. So, this is a favorite season for all pittas because we're alleviated finally of the heat. And other ways, other qualities, warm. We want your food to be warm. You can start taking baths again. If you had a hiatus over the summer, which I definitely did because I was just like, as much as I love baths, who wants to get in a hot, anything when it's hot outside? So warm, soft, stillness. Try to move. Like if you're going to go to yoga class, maybe go to like a slower class. Don't try to, it's already a mobile time. Right. Like the nature is very, very quickly transitioning. So we want to, oftentimes, even on the podcast, I catch myself almost overly compensating for all the Vata imbalances in the world. And I think I speak really, really slowly because
it's an active,
like trying to get you present to be like, okay, yes, I could speak a lot faster, but
yeah, I get it.
There's beauty in the silence and in the pause. And I think pausing in general is a really good theme for Vatas and or Vata season. Again, this is to help regulate your digestion, to bring it back, and this is to help alleviate anxiety. And you need to cook with ghee.
I was going to say, there's no way you don't mention ghee. Yeah.
You need to cook with ghee. General rule of thumb is 1 tablespoon per meal. But that's, pending lots of different things.
What like the meal
is. Cholesterol is high, or if you're overweight or whatever. What the meal is, exactly. But try to avoid raw, dry food. This includes like cold dips that are pre-made, like guacamole or hummus. People just love that stuff, or even artichoke dip. Delicious. But warm it up. Warm it up. And if you're going to have chips, put it in something warm and unctuous. Yeah. And if you're going to have fruit, best thing would be, if you're having digestive problems and anxiety. If your digestion's fine, you can do whatever's working. But if you're having bloating, gas, constipation, anxiety, broken sleep, things like this, you're not going to want to eat raw fruits or vegetables, and limit the exposure to uber stimulating movies and scary things and things that put you on the edge of your seat. We have enough of that. If you have a Vata imbalance, you're already at the edge of your seat. So creating a evening routine would be fantastic. Something regular. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't even start with this. Routine. Keeping a routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's way too long of a conversation. I'm not going to go into all the different ways of doing that, but
Yeah.
keep one thing consistent in your life every single day and do it at just like a religion, like religiously keep some sort of, whether that's your morning routine or your evening routine, and just keep that, because that's grounding you.
Yeah.
From spinning out into the abyss of Vata season.
Yeah. Thank you for all of that. That's a lot of good advice, regardless of what anyone's moving through, just given the seasons. So I appreciate that. And we made it through without glitching.
Without any glitches. It's the room. It's got to be the room. That room is haunted.
That's what it is. It's just October. It'll go away after Halloween. Watch that.
I know there's a ghost in there. Does not want me to talk about.
Yep. Does not want you to spread the word of Ayurveda. Yeah. Well, listen, we made it through. Okay. Well, I'm going to go hang with my kiddos and think about what to cook for dinner. Something. We've got some potatoes and root veggies, so I'm going to have you in mind.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Zo's gotten really good. He likes like peeling the carrots and stuff. So he did all of it already.
He's such a little earth child.
He is.
He's so kappa.
Yeah. He sat there and
amazing.
like peeled vegetables for like a solid 20 minutes the other day. Like, wow. Thank you, first of all, because I hate that task. But yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go hang out with them. Love you. This was great. I got hours of you today.
Yeah. I'm not complaining. I have nothing to I know. It's like such a blessing that my tech wasn't working this morning.
Yeah. See?
More time.
See? A blessing.
I should just fake it next time to get more time with you.
Wrote me in. All right. Love you. Have a great rest of your day.
Love you.
Before you go, if you're ready to dive deeper into your healing, check the show notes to book a 45-minute exploratory call with me. If you mention you're a subscriber of the podcast, you'll get 50% off your initial intake consultation. A 2-hour deep dive, normally $400, now just $200. You'll also find exclusive 20% discounts on trusted Ayurvedic herbs from Kerala Ayurveda and Gary & Son. Just click the links to apply the savings automatically. Ojas Oasis is a labor of love, a podcast born from a deep desire to share the timeless wisdom of Ayurveda, Vedic ritual, and holistic healing with seekers around the world. Every episode is carefully crafted to bring you inspiring conversations, ancient insights, and practical tools for living a radiant, balanced life. If the show has nourished your spirit, helped you feel more seen, or guided you on your healing path, you can now support our work by buying us a coffee or golden milk. Your support goes directly toward producing high-quality episodes, keeping the podcast ad-light and mission-focused, expanding our offerings to serve you even more deeply, and whether it's a one-time cup or a monthly offering, we are so grateful. Click the link in the show notes to support the podcast and keep the wisdom flowing.